hear about. We love seeing those and shouting each other out. But let me introduce to you our guest speaker. Okay. I want you guys to make sure you have pen and paper because I'm super, super pumped about this call. So I was a part, as you guys know, of the Country Heat Test Group. And I had the honor of being a part of this group with this beautiful woman. And she just radiates like joy and happiness. I absolutely adore her. I don't even know her. But through the computer, as you guys have done in your challenge groups, you start to get to know people. And, you know, it was really neat because we were able to be challengers again.
Yes.
We were all complete strangers. We were like, I don't know this person. Are they going to think I'm weird because I'm super bubbly and outgoing? Are they going to think I'm weird because I like to post crazy videos of myself dancing? I didn't know how they were going to perceive me. And it felt good to feel like what a challenger felt like or feels like now. And I forget that feeling as a coach. I'm like, why aren't you talking in the challenge group? And I got to experience those emotions again. And the accountability of like, it is freaking 11:45 at night. And I told Autumn, I even signed my initials on a piece of legal document saying I was going to do this workout. So I was not going to skip a workout. And I did it for 20 or 30 days. I did Country Heat to a T. I did all of my workouts, even if it meant I was working out till 1 a.m. because I said I was going to do it. And that's kind of what we do with our challenge group. Not saying you should work out at 1 a.m. I signed a legal document, so I stuck with that. But with our challengers, we hold that commitment of like for 30 days or 21 days or however long your challenge groups are, we really want them to commit and stick to their program to really get the transformations that they bought into, right? They entrusted in you as a coach. They entrusted their finances into this program, and now we want to get them the best results. Anyways, I got to meet Tulin in this group, and I instantly was like drawn to her. Like you'll see, totally drawn to this woman, and I didn't know her, so I was like, I got to dig in a little deeper. So I get on her page and like, she's had 35 shares, 200 shares of videos. What the heck is she doing? 3,000 likes. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, who is this chick? I've never even heard of her. And then I tell Nicola that I'm interested in bringing her call. Nicola's like, oh my gosh, I'm like her super fan. I'm like, what? How was I missing out on this person?
Shanti. It's like meeting Shanti for me.
Yes. Okay, that's how amazing she is. I didn't know who she was until the Country Heat group, but now that I've been stalking her page, I'm like totally mesmerized by her heart and her authenticity and her professionalism on her page. But I'll go ahead and give some of her stats. Tulin is a 2-star lifetime premier coach. She's one of the top recruiters in Beachbody for 2015. So that's a pretty big credential, considering you've got some big names out there, right? Success Club 10 All-Star, which is 12 months consecutive in Success Club 10. And she, let's see, hold on. Who is her? Okay, she's a speaker. We know that. She's also one of the things, and I think I kind of just touched on this a minute ago, a rock star at social media. Like her social media is on point. I know even in our Shine On Diamond leader group, we're all like, how do you work a like page? We don't know what we're doing. When she's got like 200 shares and 23,000 likes or something on a post, and we're like, how do you do that? She probably won't go deeply into that, but maybe open it up for questions at the end if you guys have some. But Tulin, we are going to give you the floor. We want to hear your story. We want to hear your heart, and give us some good golden nuggets to take away.
Cool. Hi, guys. So I don't know. So it's always a great place to start. So I know how many people know my story, but did any of you guys see the story that Beachbody did on my husband and I's journey from broken homeless? It was Super Saturday, like a year ago, April. Do you guys remember the broken homeless Super Saturday? No one? Anyone? Okay. All right. So if you don't know my background story, I'm going to tell you real quick so you can get a good idea where we come from, and actually even just what we went through right before we started the Country Heat challenge group, or a challenge group. Well, I guess it was a challenge group for us, but the test group. Okay. So when we started on this journey, we were broke and homeless. I had 0 social media following. I had no friends and family. Nobody wanted to hang out with the broken homeless family, or we pushed them away. We had a very successful business, and a business partner who could not handle his success. And on Christmas Eve, after being locked out of bank accounts, had threatened to kill 40 employees. And we were the largest independent reseller on eBay and Amazon in books, movies, and DVDs. And on Christmas Eve, we barricaded ourselves in the office, waited for him to show up because the officers would not show up unless he actually showed up on site. And we decided on that night, after our biggest night ever, that was just the beginning, that we were going to shut down the business to get away from him. He is now a convicted felon. So not because of that, for some other choices he made. But the bottom line is just, whew, we were glad when he was in jail for a while. So that's where all of this started. In that process, we gained 250 pounds between my husband and I. I am super competitive, really competitive. So I gained 155. Yes, 150. It's like, yeah, I win. No, it sucked. I gained 150. He gained 100 pounds. He also lost the ability to walk for 2 years due to his multiple sclerosis. So I had no social media. I had no one around me. 150 pounds, rapid weight gain. If I ran down my list of illnesses we were dealing with between his multiple sclerosis, PCOS, insulin resistance that moved into type 2 diabetes, chronic fatigue, high blood pressure. I mean, the list is long, okay? Like it goes on. I can't even say it anymore because I hate to even be in that energy. Like I'm only sharing this with you to help bust the things that hold you back, okay? So when we started in this, I'll never forget, I had started over 350 pounds. I don't know how heavy I got because the scale didn't go any higher. And I was too broke to go buy another scale. And my husband had been bugging me about Shakeology. And I said, heck no. And here he is doing P90X on his hands and knees. He bought it at a garage sale. And I'm eating Chinese food in front of him, a big McDonald's Coke, and get the hell away from the TV so I can watch my trashy television. That's how it was. And I was angry. I was so, so angry. And he wanted this crazy stuff called Shakeology. And I thought, okay, the only reason why, and I'm not against the system, just so you understand, it's there to help people. We really didn't think it was going to take us 6 years to start to come out of this. And I thought, I can barely afford to feed the kids. Here's a box of macaroni and cheese that's, $1 supposed to feed 4 people. And here's an apple that's 69 cents. Of course, I'm going to go to the cheap food. So we kept feeding ourselves the cheap food, which prolonged our illnesses. And I felt that Shakeology would be a big waste of money. So when we decided to sign up, I was not going to be the person who's going to sign up because I had a very lofty title with a magazine that I helped develop to become one of the largest plus-size fashion magazines in the industry, and took it viral. But when you're building somebody else's dream, you're going to work 18-hour days, 40 hours straight at the end of every single month. And when you look at how much you make at the end of the day because you're wearing 5 different hats and people don't know, you're making $2 an hour. You're going to do whatever it takes to feed your family. Whatever it takes. And I remember when he said, we're going to get this. And I said, fine. I said, I can't sign up for this because if you love yourself, you don't care what you eat and you don't care what you look like and blah, blah, blah. And I fed into all that. And I said, fine, we're going to get it. How many servings are in it? And he said, 30. And I go, we're going to get 2. We're going to starve. And I had every intention of returning the bag of Shakeology on my coach. And that I had a lot of people reach out to me because I was a big girl trying to get fit and everybody just assumed I wanted to lose weight. And quite frankly, I didn't think that was possible for me anymore. I just wanted to feel better. And so I used to eat Coaches Alive, and I was the absolute hands down worst no you will ever. You think you got a big no and somebody told you off? You haven't met Tulin in her dark days. Okay. Like I would take stuff out on people, and that's just where I was. And I remember that at the very last minute, I said, I got it figured out because I knew somewhere in the back of my head, there might be something to this. And I looked at my coach that I was going to sign up with. At least he was a stranger enough that if I took advantage of the 30-day money-back guarantee, I wouldn't feel so bad because I would never see his face for real. And I remember, as much as I gave him my rules, don't talk to me about your weight loss groups, don't tell me about your Shakeology, I don't care, we're buying it, leave me alone. He still told me about the discount, about coaching, and he didn't let my tough exterior get in the way of making sure that I knew what was available to me. And I told him when I gave him my rules, Either we're going to get along famously or we're going to clash terribly. And I said, I am a big woman on a journey to fit. Don't assume that I'm just about weight loss. There's more to this journey for me, et cetera, et cetera. And his wife, Kelly, says, I can totally relate. I've always struggled being able to put on weight, and she shared that part of her struggle. And I knew I was in because I've always been a firm believer that a journey is a journey is a journey. And the language, no matter where you are on the size spectrum, your fitness spectrum, your health spectrum, it doesn't matter if you have 100 pounds to lose, 200 pounds to lose, 10 pounds to lose, 10 pounds to gain, whatever it is, the struggle and the journey and the hurt, or whatever it is that you're feeling is real, and it's no different regardless of your size. And I was in. And at this point, I was about halfway through Insanity when I incorporated Shakeology. I denied the changes that I was feeling until about 30 days in, and I could no longer do that. And never stopped Shakeology. That makes me cry. 4 years ago, November, this coming November will be 4 years ago. And the reason why it makes me cry is because, thank God, my coach told me about Shakeology and the coaching discount and the 30-day money-back guarantee, and told me about this because my family would not be where it is today if my coach didn't get past my tough exterior and treated me and told me the information, tell anybody else. And I don't know if you guys know Jimmy Hayes Nelson. I think everybody knows Jimmy Hayes Nelson, but you know, he's a tough talker now. We're like brother and sister, and he will never take credit for it ever. And I love that. But I will never forget that day, and I will forever pay that gift forward. Ever, forever, 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 forever. And by December of that year, I ended up at this weird thing called SC12. I don't know what happened, but I had, and for any of you guys who happen to be friends on my personal Facebook page, which is at Tulin Emre, there's an album called Insanity in the Membrane. So if any of you guys are friends with me on there, please do not go and like or comment on this album, because I like to keep it really pristine, because it shows my first 14 days of my journey of insanity. And it shows how I was trying to change my mindset because I couldn't walk up the 12 steps to the apartment we now have, which is like this rundown, literally had mice. I mean, the carpet was like from the 1960s, whatever. We were so grateful because it had skylights, whatever. We were no longer in the hotel, okay? I would get to the top of the steps and I could not breathe. I felt constricted. My belly was 6 inches down my thighs. Each time I raised my knee, my belly would accordion up to my neck and raise my blood pressure. So every time I get to the top of the stairs, I felt like death. And I was too ashamed to admit that I was struggling walking, when I didn't even know how my husband was going to be able to get up to the second floor consistently because of multiple sclerosis. Mind you, he started walking when he started taking care of his health and fitness, and he did it through diet, meaning nutrition and whatchamacallit, exercise. I tell you all that so you understand my background, and I'll tell you where the moment where we realize, oh my gosh, this is life-changing. And this is, if you can't shout this from the rooftops, and if you can't relate to this, find something else to do. And maybe that's not what you guys want me to hear me say. But you got to be proud of what you do and love what you do. It has to have made a difference in your life. And if it hasn't made a difference in your life, you haven't looked hard enough. It's just easier to be uncomfortable and unhappy, or just stay where you are. On May 26th, and we started our test group on what day? On that next Tuesday, right? On May 26th, my husband had been dealing with some fevers on and off. He walked into our bedroom, completely looked like a convulsing pterodactyl. There's no other way I can describe it. Lay down on the bed. I didn't realize that he was convulsing. I was minutes away from losing my husband right before the test group. The craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And we found out he was in the hospital for 6 days. The first day I did the test group was in the hospital, and I knew that I had to follow my coaching. So I always told people, if I were ever going to take a turn for the worse in my old habits and going back to my emotional eating, even my husband's MS took a turn. Well, I was tested. My husband had a massive double infection and was dying in our bedroom. When the EMT showed up, they could not stop his convulsions because he's now such a beast. This guy couldn't walk. He's 120-pound dumbbells on the regular at the gym with multiple sclerosis. Thank you, Beachbody. Thank you, personal development. Thank you, the fundamentals. Convulsing, contracting so badly, they cannot put the needle in his arm because it's going to break. And if they don't do this, he's going to die. sat on bags of ice with spiking fevers and convulsions for days because they can't figure out what his infection is until a blood test come back. And I have to make the decision of continue taking care of myself. And without us talking, 3 days, we sat in the hotel room looking at each hotel room in that hospital room. The first 3 days, not talking, no phones, just looking at each other, just sat in the same room. And we were not afraid. And I will tell you that we're kind of keeping this to ourselves right now. Some people know that we were highly uninsured. In 6 days, we've taken on $100,000 debt. And we are not afraid. And you might say, well, why didn't you do that if you're so successful now where you are? Because we were just on the cusp of being able to afford this. We took care of the kids, and we were waiting to put ourselves. Another example of pushing yourself, it's affordability. Well, guess what? The money that we thought that we couldn't spend right now, we'll be spending and more. But we're not afraid because of Beachbody. And our mindset was different because we lived in the fundamentals. I watched my husband, without any conversation, peel the bread off of his sandwich and eat and make a lettuce wrap because he knew in this instant he had to take care of his health. Now, this may sound like a really long story to you, but I want you to understand where we were when we started in the Beachbody business and how we were tested and how far it's taken us because we have chosen to allow it to, because we've listened to what our coaches have taught us to do and lived in the fundamentals. And we know we are not going to lose track. Let me tell you what the past 3 months have been like. And I told Jatanya, right? Jatanya? Okay, good. I told her, I said, I don't normally talk about high SC and recruiting. I don't. But I said I would on this call if that would be helpful to you guys to get an idea. My husband was in the hospital May 26th. We had 1 week where we didn't work in May. We ended the month at 62 SC points and 24 new coaches. The following month, we took 2 months off last month. We ended the month at 43 SC points and 17 coaches in June. It is now July 6th, right? Yep. We have 57 SC points and 23 coaches. I bring this all up to you because July is a really crappy month, right? Yeah, keep believing it. Keep believing it. There are people in this world that need your story desperately. And the only reason why you aren't reading HC is because you're not consistent in your journey. You don't feel strong enough to shout this from the rooftop, and you don't believe in yourself enough to know that your story, your journey, no matter how big, how small, is desperately waiting to be told. And until you tell that story, we will not end this trend or change people's lives. Period. End of story. I don't teach my coaches about high recruiting and high SC. I want to say it comes naturally. No. Did I happen to mention that I'm plus size and 267 pounds? I don't have a six pack. I don't have an after photo. Yes, I've lost 90 pounds in my transformation. The year that I was one of the top recruiters in Beachbody, I went through a 1 year plateau in the business after going through therapy to kind of get to the bottom of why I wore my story. We wear our story in layers, some of us differently than others. For those of us who carry a lot of weight, a lot of times we can associate it to periods of time in our life. The 1 year from my plateau, I completely busted my knee and had a 31-pound weight gain. And I never spiraled out of control. The year that I plateaued, I was one of the top recruiters. The reason why I tell you all that, you guys, there is no secrets. I have absolutely no secret sauce to tell you because I'm no different than you, and my months are no different than yours, and my hours are no different than yours, and my story is no different than yours, and my story is not bigger or worse. Oh yeah, you should hear my story. Yeah, I bet your story really, really hurts, and I honor that. Like whatever your story is, whatever your pain points are. I didn't tell people when I was going homeless, broken homeless. The week that my video was going to air at Super Saturday, Facebook memories are coming up, and I was watching the memories come in, and I swear to you on all things holy, the day my video aired on April 25th was the day we landed homeless in Huntington Beach a few years before. And I was watching this, and it hit me like a brick. I wasn't telling her, huh? Oh, both of us. I mean, I've never had a release like that and a realization to know that our life has changed. because of this. And I didn't tell people we were going broke and homeless. I told them I couldn't wait to go back home to Huntington Beach. I wasn't ready to tell that part of my story yet. I didn't have a big following. I had people tell me what I did was bad for plus size women. I had the plus size mafia, which I was kind of a part of, and helped to build this mentality in this industry that if you loved yourself, that you didn't care about your health and fitness. Now, let me please correct that and understand that I am proudly a plus size health and fitness motivator and proudly a plus size Beachbody coach. And plus size is not a negative to me. It is where I found love in myself and my empowerment. I'm not here to debate, convert, talk into any of those kinds of things. That is my story. And understand when somebody calls himself plus size, or the model calls himself plus size, that woman is identifying herself and putting herself out there to show other people the other size spectrum, to learn to love yourself in the body you're in. And I think if more of us learn to love yourself in the body you're in, call yourself plus size, negative size, I don't care, curvy, whatever it is, the people who get hung up on the word has never understood how important, empowering those two words are to people who never felt they fit in traditional forms of beauty. And so what I decided to do was to go out and become one of the first plus size Beachbody coach, stand up and say, I'm a proud plus size Beachbody coach. And I'll never forget the day that I did it. Were there other plus size Beachbody coaches in front of me? Are you kidding me? Absolutely. But I was the one that stood up and said, I'm proud of who I am and the body I'm in right now. We can't let the body that we beat up and hate on and then turn around and ask it, hey, can you, by the way, take me back to this magical number so I can be happy again? Could you do that for me? Of course not going to do that to you. If you talk mean to a plant, it's going to die. You talk mean to your body, it's not going to get you where you want to go either. Your body got you where you are because it's incredibly resilient, and that same body's going to get you back. When you love and honor where it is and be proud of where you stand right now in your age, in your size, in your whatever, and you start honoring that, you will be amazed at how people go, I want to learn to love who I am. We were not put on this planet to hate on ourselves. Period. Call yourself what you want. That's how I built my business. You want to know how I did this? I share my raw, authentic journey on a daily basis, and I don't worry about the critics. Do the critics hurt my feeling? Yeah, it hurts my feelings, but I don't allow negativity on my page. You're in my house. My social media is my house. If you have something negative to say or don't provide a positive contribution to this world via my page, I've got a perfect place for you to go and post that as much as you want. Ready for the list? Write this down. See rest of internet, not in my house, not on my pages. My pages are a place for women like myself or whoever else inspired by it. I have a lot of health and fitness people who follow me, who want to be a better service to those who are on their health and fitness journey. I have goals. I have really big goals. But in my house, it's about love, support, empowerment, and moving to the next level. There is no negativity on my page whatsoever. No body shaming, nothing. And that's what I do. My social media, my Facebook page started with 0. I started it brand new because I needed to have it separate from what I used to be a plus size model back in the day. I'm retired 10 years or so. Although, I don't know if you guys saw me, I'm actually in the plus size clothing for Beachbody. I helped develop that line so that those of us on a journey can proudly wear and share too. And I'm very excited to have been a part of that. When I started with 0 follow, I had no YouTube following, no Facebook following. My Instagram had like 100 people on it and they didn't care about my journey. And I purely did it for accountability. And that album I told you about literally shows my first 14 days of this journey where I only committed to movement. That was it. I changed nothing else. I was pretty determined to out-exercise a bad diet. And I use social media for personal accountability, journaling, and just a place for me to go to share. And I didn't really think anybody was reading my stuff. And I didn't really think I was making an impact on anyone else. And I was in such a negative, horrible space that I didn't really think anybody cared enough. You want to find out how much the Beachbody community cares about you and have people reach out from across the country to help you out? Watch what happens when your husband is up in the hospital nearly dying. I could not believe the family I had in Beachbody. So, how do I build my social media? I'm a verified YouTube. I'm actually like a YouTuber, which is weird. I showed up on the Google Analytics report by just sharing my raw journey. I knew nothing about YouTube. I just posted videos up there. My first video was the one I was going to quit. Do you notice something? Do you notice that I didn't have all the answers? I had no idea what I was doing. I still to this day don't know what I'm doing, but I do stuff and it seems to be working. And if that works, I'm going to keep doing that. And if it stops working, I'm going to go here. But I stay out of the white noise of all the training and I live in the vital behaviors. personal development. We have to remember the product of the product. Product of the product means, you know, six-pack right now. And if you have a six-pack right now, go you. I hope to have one soon. And I got one underneath all this. I'm protecting it fiercely by having this layer of fat over it, which I'm losing. Thanks, Country Heat. You know, I live in those. I share. I invite. You know, whatever. Right? Those are vital behaviors, the things that your coaches tell you to do on a daily basis. Be like, nope, there's a secret sauce out there those people at the top are doing, and I need to know. I'm a fat girl in fitness who is killing this business. There is no secret sauce. And by the way, just so you know, I'm very blunt. And when I say I'm a fat girl in fitness, it's an appropriate adjective. It's where I am in my life, and I'm okay with it. But the bottom line is I don't fit this norm of fitness. And the reality is this journey to fit looks very different for everyone. And everyone needs someone they can relate to, and that relationship's in you. And that's where my social media built. I didn't take any classes. I didn't have a coach that trained me on social media. I didn't know exactly how to set up my like page, but I set it up. I started posting things on there. Some things went well, some things didn't. I thought spending money on advertising for Facebook was a big waste of time. I actually come from the advertising and marketing world. Believe me, in no other place have I run an ad that I've spent 0.002 cents per action. Never will, in one frequency, one touch point that somebody took an action based off an ad. Nowhere in my life have I ever seen that. I don't bring people into my social media. Like, I'm not here to tell you guys stuff you can go Google, okay? I'm just going to tell you guys stuff that works for me. Nowhere in my stuff that I share do you not get the raw, authentic who I am. You get all of me or none of me. And I say dirty words. And if that offends you, then my page probably isn't for you. And I don't judge you for it. It's just we have to know where the best fit is for us. My page may not be Nicole's page or Patricia's page, right? Like, she might not really jive with my page. But somebody's really going to jive with the way Patricia does stuff, or Nicole does stuff, or, you know, Dina does stuff. Because it's you. Because it's uniquely you. The secret isn't in, here's one thing I don't do, you guys. I don't pay attention to what other coaches do. I don't pay attention to what other coaches do. Because it right away makes me do the comparison game. And then I immediately think I need to change everything I'm doing to what they're doing. I used to have people send me screenshots of other people who would literally take my pictures, cut their hair like mine, all this like stuff. And do you see that? You just wrote this. I've had people take my videos word for word, and then they go and shoot the exact same video. People are like, did you see this? I'm like, I don't want to see it. First of all, it really bums me out because it's just like, I literally did the voice over for that video while sitting on the toilet at leadership. Like, you couldn't get more authentic than that. That's the honest to goodness truth. Like, that's about as authentic as you can get at a 5-minute break, okay? Multitasking, we're coaches. You know, I don't pay attention to the other things other people are doing because it becomes the white noise of training. If I sit in all this training about social media and this and that and always avoid the very basics that I need to do, which are the vital behaviors, I'm never going to build this business. Ever. I'm not lucky. It's not because I have a big transformation. It's not because I have this figured out. I don't. I consistently share my journey. No matter what my journey looks like. I think one of my favorite videos that you did in the Country Heat group was your bloopers. Like, was you stumbling around trying to figure out the moves. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love you. Because I gotta tell you, looking at your videos, I would have had no idea because she had like the moves like down. And I'm like, God, I'm just trying. I look like the robot trying to do the dances. Like, I'm like, oh, I can hop, right? I'm so excited I can do it. She's rocking it out. Guess what? She had to learn the moves too. She had to go through the process too. She was stumbling and getting her legs all twisted around too. And that'll probably be the best video she ever posts. And it's really cool to see what, by putting in consistency and time and learning and practice, would do for your dance ability. right? To learn something new. Just because she does country line dancing, when you hand her a new country line dance, she doesn't instantaneously, here it is. I know how to do it. It just came out of the box. It just came out of me. I knew how to do it perfectly. It still takes time and practice. And that's the same thing about the social media. I personally, my social media drives everything to my inbox, all my leads. I no longer have to reach out to people. All the leads come into my inbox. Okay? That's not uncommon. There's a lot of people who do have that now because of their social media. I don't have a formula or a time of day I post. I don't have a time of day that I do my lives. I do them when I want to. Are there statistics that tell you if you follow some of the things, the best time to post and things like that? Do. Because there's statistics that go along with that. But if you feel like doing a live right now because you have something in your heart to share, your authentic self, but never from like a whiny place. Like I have tough days, but I'm always going through the process of learning how to fix it, how to overcome it, how to push through it. I always make sure that I never leave people hanging in a shroud of I can't, or I struggle, or I don't know, or my reasons that are really just freaking excuses. So I don't leave them hanging that way. I never want to unload on me and put it on someone else. So broken homeless, I was able to figure out a way to pay for my challenge pack. Very, very overweight. When I started, I was able to hit SC 12 in my second month. Now the next month in January, I hit 4 because I had somebody who's really, really interested. And I just waited, right? Like I talked to those 3 people and I just knew they were going to sign up, but I just waited and waited and waited. Very last day, she decided to get a program only. Here's the other thing that I do, you guys. I am challenge pack only. If people are reaching out to me about my journey, now there's different ways to do this, okay? There's no right way. I'm just telling you my way. My belief system, somebody's reaching out to me about my journey and my progress, whether it's a mental change or the physical change or whatever it is, I choose not to half coach them because Shakeology is fundamentally the foundation, cornerstone, whatever you want to call it, of my journey. And in order for me to help them the way that I know best, because I don't have these letters behind my name, right? I have this solution in a box. I need to give them the entire solution so I can walk them through it. Do I still get returns? I get returns. Do I have people take advantage of 30-day money-back guarantee? Absolutely. I tell everyone about the coaching opportunity. I tell everyone about the discount. I tell everyone about the 30-day money-back guarantee. I tell everyone the challenge pack is required. If they choose to say no to any one of those options, that's okay. Their no doesn't define me or my worth. I have people who say, nope, I want to be a customer. You know what I say? I'm like, great. So you are going to be a full retail customer. Okay. So the difference is thank you very much. I appreciate the commission. The only difference is if you signed up to be a coach, you would receive the discount on your monthly Shakeology instead of me receiving the commission. That's it. And then I tell them, now, if you feel weird, you're like, well, now I can't want that discount, just let me know before you fill out the link, and I'll go ahead and send you the appropriate link for a coach. And I recruit all day long. So yes, I do a lot of discount coaches. And I had somebody tell me, well, it's the pool you're fishing from, Tulin, the reason why you're not a 15-star diamond with all the recruiting you do. I'm here to help people on their journey to fit while I'm on my own. And when they're ready to step in their coaching and when they start to believe in themselves the way that I do believe in them, I'm here to help teach them how to become a coach. Never discount somebody's ability. I will be all the bling. I will get there. I don't see a difference between any of you and any of the 15-star diamonds that are standing up there. They are no different than you. No different. The possibilities are endless. So hopefully that was kind of helpful. My intention is to share my story to help bust excuses and for you to find a nugget that you can relate to that goes, oh, did that happen for anybody? Anybody get anything you're like, I can relate?
Oh, I'm sure. I saw lots of head shaking and eyed and
all right, good.
People commenting on the team page. But you are amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your heart. Is that Energize? Are you sipping on Energize late at night? I
have basketball games. I got to run all over kids in tournament, so.
Oh, all right. So questions. Do you guys have questions for Tulin? Please ask, because I know some people can relate to your story for sure.
I guess they probably should. Does Michelle have one? Hold on. Michelle does. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That was a really inspirational. So thank you for sharing that. So do you ever post about challenge groups or anything like that? Or how do you go about that piece of it? I mean, are you different than, some of the rest of us? I love that your honesty's out there. That's awesome.
Yeah, I do. I'm a big believer in kind of that jab, jab. Sometimes I jab, 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 and then hook. Like sometimes I jab more than others. Okay. So there are times I will attach it to a particular program. So about Country Heat, I was attaching it to a particular program, but oftentimes I don't know what is best for the person who's going to reach out to me. So I'm not necessarily going to sell them what's on sale because it might not be the right fit, right? I would love to take everybody through Master Hammer and Chisel. I love Master Hammer and Chisel, but I know also what I had to do to get to that point. Okay. So when they reach out to me, I then find out about their goals, their struggles, et cetera. It all becomes all about them. So I will do groups I'll talk about a story or something I've overcome or a photo or something like that. And then I'll tell them, hey, if you're interested in support, feel free to email me and I'll give them I'll say subject and I'll give them a couple of words to put in there to kind of help me understand what they came in from. And oftentimes it'll be the same set of words for multiple posts. I just know about the time period and the type of thing that I'm talking about. I will tell you honestly, I never plan my posts out in advance. It's just how I feel at that moment. It is. It would behoove me to do some more planning. I have a success partner who's very, very well planned. I'm not. So we're like the odd couple, but because we're always pushing each other to get better, I've taken on some of her characteristics. She's taken on some of mine, and it's worked really well. So no, I honestly just share whatever the struggle is. If I happen to be talking about nutrition, I'll invite them to a group that's more nutritionally based. If I'm talking about inches lost or something, I'll invite them to something like that. So my groups are much more mindset based that can work for almost any of the programs. And then sometimes I'll do a group that's program based, like Size, Country Heat, I will. It just depends.
So you're running multiple at one time?
I do have groups that overlap, yeah. So sometimes I'll do a group. Often I'll do like 2 groups a month and then they graduate into another group and I have like a series of groups they can go into, including a graduate group. But like right now with the amount of people who are coming in, I don't want them all in one group. And I use my challenge tracker for my Size group and I will for Country Heat as well. So I will do just to split them up. I'll try not to have more than 20 in a group. That way their conversations don't get lost with each other. I prefer more like 15. So this coming up week, even though it's not on my schedule, I am going to start another group because I don't want the next group to be huge. Only some people can do it really well. I don't. So.
And I don't plan any of my posts either. I mean, I'm just like, if it's not on my mind or my heart, it won't come across as authentic. So, and there are moments where I'm sitting in the car going, Josh, I haven't posted in like 4 hours. That's a problem. I need to figure something out, like what's going on? How can I evaluate and assess the situation? How am I feeling right now? What are we going to go do? So all of my posts are very authentic to what I'm doing at the moment. I think that's how people relate best to me. What else you guys got?
Hello. First, I wanted to say thank you so much. This has been, I've been a coach since November, and this is probably one of my all-time favorite team calls. You are amazing.
Thank you.
But you actually brought it up as what do you call it? A success partner. And I actually had a question because I need a success partner really bad. And I don't know how to go about finding one, or if I should find one within my team, or if I should, reach out to someone who really inspires me, who I know has like the complete opposite. Like, I am not organized. I don't plan very well, and I kind of need someone who's stronger in those assets to help give me a nice, good kick in the ass. So I'm kind of reaching out to people and asking them, how did you choose your success partner?
Okay, so I went back and forth in the idea of it's gone. There's something. Oh, I think it was Nicole that was beeping. Something was beeping. My head's like, what's beeping? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm beeping. Okay, so I went through several success partners, and one of the things is about having a success partner. Okay, same thing as your coach. Okay, coach is badass. Can I say that? You are. You're amazing. I mean, she's accomplished so much in this business. And for her to ask me to be on this call, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of starstruck. That's kind of amazing. Okay. It's not kind of, it's really amazing. So she brings a lot to the table. Okay. So my relationship with my coach is I earn his time. I have to do what he asks me to do. And I think that's only fair because it's a waste of his time if I go back to him in the same place when he goes, it's like going to a physical therapist and they say, you need to do these exercises. And then you go back and you haven't. And then like, well, how are you feeling? Go, no, I didn't do the exercise. Like, well, why? You know what I mean? Like you have to do the work. Okay. It's the same thing with a success partner. So I went through several success partners that I really felt that it was one-sided and I didn't mind. I love to share. Like I love to share, okay, inspire especially others who are like me, who are like on the other end of the size spectrum. It's something I really enjoy to do because I want to be able to make that change in ending the trend, okay? But I really felt in my original success partner relationships that it was a lot of getting a lot of information from me, which I love sharing, but I left the call feeling like I didn't have a next step. And so what we've learned, and actually my success partner is being one of my dearest friends in Beachbody, and we've now become success partners, and it was kind of a fluke. So we say we dated for a long time. And then we both went through several success partner relationships. And so the thing is about having a success partner, they shouldn't be the one kicking your butt. You should be kicking your own butt to raise your level, right? So you both have to be willing, because if you both get together like, July is really tough. Yeah, July is really tough. Well, you're up on a phone call that says July is really tough. And then you've got, big girl coming in here going, I'm killing July. Like, this is crazy. Like, July is awesome. So is June. You have to find people who are going to be willing to push you outside of the box that's so comfortable staying in. You guys, the easiest box you can stay in right now is staying really, really busy, just kind of dabbling in the business, kind of doing your thing. You're not shouting this from the rooftops because you're not living in complete pride of what you do. Okay, because you're so worried about what people are going to think. I'm more worried about not sharing with other people because if I don't share with somebody, I'm not going to change their life. Okay, so same thing about success partners. So you come together and you've got to have, I recommend that you guys stay together for a short period of time, make sure that it works, that you set parameters, that you know each other's goals, and that your job is to push yourself, which pushes them. And then you call them out and allow them to call you out. But it's not, success partnership is not about dragging each other to the goals. And if your success partner isn't taking this business seriously and is not in some level of drive, okay, you don't have to be the same levels in the business, but your level of drive of really believing this and wanting to do this, I think is an important element. So you have to keep looking until you find it. And whether it's in your team or not, that's up to you. They could be here. Mary and I happen to be on the same team, but our businesses don't touch each other at all. And we run some groups together. Like we run a lot of our coach fundamentals together because there's things that she just blows my mind on. And there's things that I blow her mind on. And so we know our levels of expertise. And so we allow each other to do that. I learned that on the cruise. Actually, from Alexis and a couple of other coaches, we were sitting on the top deck. Like, it's crazy the stuff you learn at events. If you're not getting to events or on these cruises, you are missing out on the most amazing conversations from people who are willing to hand you their content. Literally, and go, here, take this, see if it works for you. I don't know any job in corporate America that did that. Like, people are always trying to lift each other, and those people who want to get next level are usually at the events and usually on the trips because they're earning it for the most part. So just keep trying until you find the right one. I didn't find the right one until about 6 months ago, and she was right in front of me all along, and I'll have been in the business 4 years in November.
Yeah. I don't have one. I mean, I've dabbled in and out with different relationships, but none of them have stuck and still been able to go to 10 stars. So I wouldn't say it's a vital thing. Don't push it and don't. I've seen a lot of excuse partners, like you said, and that can be the worst pitfall for you and stumbling block is finding somebody where you're just complaining together. And that's very, very normal. And probably will happen with even successful partners. Kara is an avid follower of yours as well, and she's lost 92 pounds, and she's sharing her journey, but she thinks it's not convincing to people. The girlfriend's lost 92 pounds and needs to maybe even refine the way she's sharing her journey, because something's not happening. So I'm curious on your thoughts.
Well, the thing is that, remember, I'm not here to convince, debate, talk into, or prove to anyone. I'm not. My message, and by the way, Kara, that's amazing. Congrats. That's huge. Like 90 pounds is a big deal. I've lost 90 pounds myself. And after my gain, now I'm back down. I'm still nowhere near whatever my goal weight is, but where I know that I'm like, yeah, all right, we're good. I mean, I feel good now, but like where I really want to get to. And not everybody's jumping into my boat. It may seem like it, but my social media, listen, my social media, it's not the size, it's the vibe of your tribe. Do not get stuck on the number. Yes, I do have a lot of likes and stuff on my posts, but if you go back 3 months ago, I didn't have those numbers, okay? So over time, it continues to evolve, okay? So the people who follow me are really inspired by me, but 99.9% of them are never going to reach out to me to work with me. They're not. Even though my vibe and my tribe is pretty solid, they're not going to reach out. So I get to be a part of the journey of a lot of other people indirectly. Now, does that help me build my business? Not necessarily, but I have other people I can talk to about building the business. I'm still figuring out this business myself, okay? There's still milestones I need to hit in the business. So I would really look at, if you just share your authentic self, and don't stop. Like, don't share and go, okay, I lost 92 pounds. Jump in my boat. Like, you all want to do this. Most people are going to look at you like you're an anomaly. Like, you are an alien because you were able to figure this out, but not me. Not me. I can't do that. But by you consistently sharing your journey, the ups, the downs, because it could be 92 pounds this week and it could be 89 pounds next week. Who cares? Who cares? It's the overall journeys. What are you figuring out? Keep sharing daily. And if they're not coming in, are you being too salesy? Are you being too salesy in your approach and what you're sharing? That can be a big one. Are your expectations such that you think because your results are so amazing, which they are, your results are incredible, that people are going to jump at you? No, they're not. They're going to watch you for a long, long, long time. And because you've been consistent over time, I told you I started with zero. 3 months ago, my social media didn't look this way. 3 months before that, it didn't look that way. You know what I mean? It continues to grow. But what stays the same is my consistency in sharing. So I would really take a hard look at what you're sharing. And what you want to do is, I'll tell you this, don't put your story in everybody's face. That's something a lot of us it's like finding God. We've lost all this weight and we need to let everybody know what they need to do to save themselves. And that can push people away because they're not ready to receive the message. Sometimes you don't hear me talking about my weight loss all the time. And the actuality is weight loss is daunting. What else have you experienced, Kara? What has happened in those 92 pounds on the daily in your overall journey you can share? Because if you're constantly sharing the 92 pounds, that is a fraction of the journey and the experiences and the changes you've made. I would change your focus, because to me, you lost 92 pounds and that's huge, but don't just live in that space. What other ways have you grown and changed? And how can you share that on the daily that's inside and around and above and under that weight loss? Because that weight loss is kind of, I don't even call it the nucleus, but it's not, but let's use that example. It's kind of right here, right? All those other non-scale victories around it, all those other non-scale victories around it is what people need to know is where they're going to relate to you. They can't necessarily relate to the 92 pounds because they haven't gotten there. But they're going to relate to the other aspects of your journey. So I don't know if that helps you or not, but try shifting that up a little bit and see if it happens, because you should be proud of the changes you've made. But find the other things. Because someday you could go through something in your life and you're going to gain 10 pounds. Are you going to spiral out of control? Or are you going to go, nope, here's all the things I've learned in my journey. I am more than my number. And you are, Kara, you're more than your number. So share that aspect of it too. I don't know if that helps. It's just feedback.
I love it. Love it. That was fantastic feedback. Last question, and we won't hold you up all night. What is your favorite personal development book? Like, what do you think is the game changer personal development book for you in your business?
Compound Effect. Compound Effect.
Yeah.
My son lives it for basketball and sports. I mean, I guess basketball is a sport. Basketball and school. My husband lived in it when he was overcoming his struggles. I live in the compound effect. As a matter of fact, my social media, my business, my fitness journey, my personal journey, all of it is compounding. I've compounded the other way. Where you focus, energy will flow. Every time I say to myself, I don't want this to happen, it happens and tenfold what I expected to happen. So I compound the other way too. Spiraling out of control is compounding the other way. So compound effects. I have other books that I love as well, but compound effects, one of those books that I can go to often.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. Tulin, you are amazing. We adore you. Keep rocking your journey. Okay. We're excited to see where you are a year from now. And you're inspiring so many women across the country. So thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Team, I love y'all. Have an amazing night. Go out and hit Success Club and love on your challengers and run an amazing challenge group for July. All right. Love y'all. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
If it's helped, let me know and Coach Tulin.
There you go.